Quick announcement. Hey BookTube, it's Kim at Middle of the Book March, and this is an announcement video. Not going to be too long today. Let me do a little adjusting. There we go. Yes, I have a quick announcement today. I am bringing back Mental Health May. Yesterday. Last year was our first year to run Mental Health May as a BookTube event. And my co-host is Marilyn Maya Mendoza, as she was last year. And Marilyn and I talk a lot about this subject because we both have experience with it. And it's really important to both of us to keep these conversations out in the open and to talk to people. So she has agreed to co-host with me yet again. And we're going to make a few tweaks, minor tweaks. But what is Mental Health May? Mental Health May is devoted to the topics of mental health in the month of May. Very simple. And last year I posted a long video on my own mental health story, and I will link that video down below. I'm not going to get into all that this time. No big deal. I'm pretty open on my channel about the different things that I've lived with in my life, and go and watch that video. Let me know if you have any questions about it. I'm more than happy to talk about anything that I post. So, Marilyn and I just want to devote our energy and our time and our conversations to topics surrounding mental health of all different sorts. And Mental Health May is simply a BookTube event to give exposure to reading and books and topics that people are interested in. So last year we had a group of 4 words that could be used as prompts. There's nothing mandatory about this event. There is nothing you're required to do. We are keeping this very, very chill, especially this year. And that was kind of my decision. It has to be even simpler this year because of life. And so that's what I decided to do. The theme of this year is self-care. That's it. There's no prompts. There's no other words. It's just self-care. What does that mean? That's going to mean something different to everybody. And self-care is a very well-known term to mean taking care of yourself. That could be physically, spiritually, emotionally, doing things that are good for you in any of those areas, and feeling that it's important to address caring for yourself. Caring for your body, for your spirit, for your soul, for your heart, for your mind. And self-care can be interpreted in any way you want. If you want to take part in Mental Health May and read one book, go for it. You have taken part. You have joined in with the read-along. That's all you have to do. It could be any book. It could be fiction, nonfiction. It could be a children's book. It could be a picture book, an art book, anything. And if it's self-care for you, then that's awesome. You could read a book that is a beautiful book simply because that's caring for yourself. It's as simple as that. The only thing I ask is if you do read a book for the theme of Mental Health May, just if you create content, just let us know. Put hashtag Mental Health May. I think that's what I'll do in this video. Hashtag Mental Health May 2024. So if you do read a book that you're reading specifically for self-care for yourself, whether it has anything to do with a mental health topic, then let us know. Post it. And I really do hope you enjoy your reading. For me, last year, what I tend to do in theme months on BookTube is I do it to myself all the time. I tend to go overboard and I overschedule a lot of books with all the same theme in one month, instead of maybe interspersing a lot of different types of books, even though I'm reading for a specific monthly event. So what I decided to do is I picked one fiction and one nonfiction with a mental health theme to read in May. The self-care part is I really want to read both of these books, and they're both on my shelf that I've had for a little while. And self-care to me means doing what I want. Doing something that I really want to do that I maybe have been either ignoring or denying myself. And it may seem funny, but in a bookish way, I tend to, this is going to sound really weird, I tend to try to pick books off my shelf that I've maybe had for a long time. And if I'm a mood reader, so I'll go and look at my books to see when I want to pick up a new one, what do I feel like reading? And what inevitably happens is I will be looking on my shelves and I'll go and reach for a book that oh, that looks good. I want to read that one right now. And then sitting right there next to it is a book that I've had for 10 years that I haven't read yet. And it's like, how about me? How about me? And I typically cave to that. And quite often it's a 50-50 where I've regretted it. So I know it sounds kind of silly. Let me know if you can relate to this though. So what I did is I picked 2 books that I really want to read, and I don't even care how long I've owned them. They're not brand new, and I haven't, I didn't just buy them, but I still want to read them, and they both have topics of mental health. So the first one is nonfiction. This is a very well-known book in the area. This is The Body Keeps the Score, Brain, Mind, and Body in the Healing of Trauma by Bessel van der Kolk, MD. This has been around for quite a while. Let me see. This is the penguin version. I really love penguins. You know why? Because they're lightweight and they're easy to hold and they're easy to read. This was copyrighted in 2014. I think I bought this at a library sale for $1. Another way that I take care of myself is to buy cheap books. So this is, I'm going to read the back. Trauma is a fact of life. Veterans and their families deal with the painful aftermath of combat. 1 in 5 Americans has been molested. 1 in 4 grew up with alcoholics. 1 in 3 couples have engaged in physical violence. Dr. Bessel van der Kolk, one of the world's foremost experts on trauma, has spent over 3 decades working with survivors. In The Body Keeps the Score, he uses recent scientific advances to show how trauma literally reshapes both body and brain, compromising sufferers' capacities for pleasure, engagement, self-control, and trust. He explores innovative treatments from neurofeedback and meditation to sports, drama, and yoga that offer new paths to recovery by activating the brain's natural neuroplasticity. Based on Dr. van der Kolk's own research and that of other leading specialists, The Body Keeps the Score exposes the tremendous power of our relationships both to hurt and to heal, and offers new hope for reclaiming lives. This seems amazing, and I'm really looking forward to diving into this book in May. And my second book is fiction. This has topics of agoraphobia and hoarding. And this is Mr. Flood's Last Resort by Jess Kidd. This has been on my shelf of books that I had in my video, Why Haven't I Read This Book Yet? And Jess Kidd is a favorite author of mine. This one was called The Hoarder in the UK, I believe. And this was published, let's see, I'll get to that. I will get to that page. This was published in 2017. Check this out. Look at how big that font is. Talk about self-care right there. When I find, in a good hardcover book, the font is spectacularly big. Maud Drennan is a dedicated caregiver whose sunny disposition masks a deep sadness. A tragic childhood event left her haunted in the company of a cast of prattling saints who pop in and out of her life like tourists. Other than visiting her agoraphobic neighbor, Maud keeps to herself, finding solace in her work and her humble existence, until she meets Mr. Flood. Cathal Flood is a menace by all accounts. This already makes me want to read it. The lone occupant of a mansion crawling with feral cats, he has been waging war against his son's attempts to put him in an old age home and sent his last caregiver running for the madhouse. But Maud is this impossible man's last chance. If she can help him get his house in order, he just might be able to stay. So the unlikely pair begins to cooperate, bonding over their shared love of Irish folktales and mutual dislike of Mr. Flood's overbearing son. There's a little more, but I wasn't going to read all of that. So these are, this sounds so good. And Jess Kidd is an Irish author, just phenomenal writing, and I absolutely love her humor. So this is going to be a really fun one. So these are the 2 books that I'm going to concentrate on for Mental Health May. Now, what self-care also means for me is if I start reading one and I can't stand it, I will DNF it. Or if it's time for me to pick up one of these books and I decide, you know what, I'm not in the mood for this and I don't really want to pick it up, I might go and just find a different book or no book. Sometimes that's what self-care is being able to change, shift focus and change priorities and know that that's okay to do. So being good to yourself is part of self-care. So that's what this month's Mental Health May is all about. Mental Health May 2024 is about self-care. So if you would like, please join me and Marilyn in this reading event next month and let me know in the comments below what you think. If you've read any of these books or if you'd love to take part in the event, all you have to do is read one book. That's all. And interpret self-care in any way you want. Thanks for watching and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye everybody.